Hey there, welcome to Growing with Grace, a place where every Christian can get a short yet powerful Bible truth for the day. Have you ever been in a situation where you literally didn't think it could get any worse? Whatever was going on, it was just a terrible day for you. And then all of a sudden, you did something unthinkable, something foolish. And the old saying goes, it went from bad to worse in a heartbeat. I've been there. I've made a lot of situations worse. You know, as we study God's Word, we find people just like that. They were in a tough situation, a trying time, a challenge if you would. But instead of making it better, they did something foolish and they made it worse. We can think of Moses. Moses there while the children of Israel were being persecuted in bondage in Egypt. And what did he do? He made it worse. He committed murder. How about Abraham? Abraham was running low on faith. God told Abraham, I'm going to give you a son. Abraham lacked faith. He went and he committed adultery with his wife's handmaiden. He went from bad to worse. We can read of other people in the Bible. In the New Testament, Peter did that. Christ was being carried away. His crucifixion was at hand, getting ready for a kangaroo court, if you would. Peter lacked faith. What did he do? He denied Christ 3 times. He cursed him. He made a bad situation worse. But there's also people in the Bible that had great faith, and during a tough time, they didn't make a bad situation worse. I think about, for instance, the 3 Hebrew children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The king said, when you hear the music, you're supposed to bow. A trying time. But they didn't make it worse. Their faith held strong. I think about Daniel. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, it was because he continued to pray. When the king signed the decree that you can't pray anymore to the true God, Daniel didn't do anything that made it worse. And one of the greatest lessons that we can learn in the Christian life is during tough times, just don't make it worse. We don't always have to have the solution. We don't always have to know when it's going to end. We don't have to have a plan to get out of it. Just don't make it worse. I think a great Bible illustration of this, at one point in his life at least, is David. In 1 Samuel chapter number 18, David is being chased from cave to cave by Saul. He's literally hiding for his life. David was promised he's going to be king one day. But boy, he had to hide in the caves before he could ever get to the castle. And when David was fearing for his life, when Saul was hunting him down, 3 times in 1 Samuel chapter number 18, you hear this phrase, and David behaved himself wisely. Again, chapter 18, verse 14, and David behaved himself wisely. Chapter 18, verse 15, wherefore when Saul saw that he behaved himself wisely. In every situation in life, David didn't always get it right. But in this situation in his life, he just behaved himself wisely. In short, he didn't make it worse. My challenge to you today is just this. When you find yourself in a tough situation, don't make it worse. You don't have to find a way out. You don't have to have a plan. Just trust God. Keep doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. And for whatever we do, for Pete's sake, don't make it worse. I hope you enjoyed this simple Bible thought for today. And today I pray that you really will walk with grace.